So I've added in the YouTube channel. I think we got it going now. All right, awesome, awesome. Iris's Shared Nuggets live broadcast, Monday night weekly broadcast, where we've been talking about relationships from various angles. We talked about relationships with our children, relationships with our foreparents, relationships with money, relationships with time, and then we just finished up the book, The 5 Wealth Secrets 96% of Us Don't Know. So I had a really long day today at work. One of my coworkers, well, my supervisor is out. So I'm filling in her role as well as my role. So today was a Monday, first day of the week, so the first day I took on both. It wasn't strenuous or stressful, but I was running back and forth between my office, her office, and doing different things, so kind of splitting myself. So kind of hit me, and so I was came in and took a nap, and then I just got up in enough time to go to the bathroom, freshen up, and get on the broadcast. So, of course, having a little bit of technical challenges at that time was not the best thing. But however, this is about transparency. We are here. I welcome you aboard. And tonight we're just going to dialogue a little bit. We said we wanted to take a break between the readings. Just finishing up last week, The 5 Wealth Secrets 96% of Us Don't Know by Craig Hill. And we will be going into a new book next week. And so we want to just have some free dialogue time. So I hope that some of the regulars will come on and share in and talk a little bit with me today. This will be the book that we are going to next. So next Monday, to be specific, we will be starting this on our live broadcast here on Facebook. We're inside of the Iris's Shared Nuggets group. So there is a group on Facebook. It's called Iris's Shared Nuggets. You can find me by looking up Iris Wells or looking up Iris's Shared Nuggets, and that's for our Periscope viewers and my YouTube channel viewers. So the next book we're going to is The 5 Love Languages, as we've been talking about relationships from many different angles. And this book is by Gary Chapman. So I'm holding it up so you can see it. So you can see it on Facebook inside of the group. Let me just put it like this in front of me so you can't miss it. Looks like it's not straight. There we go. So we got different angles here, different levels here. I'm on 3 different channels. Okay, so just want you to get a look at that, what that cover looks like, know who the author is, and the title in case you want to get it. And I will post it in the Iris's Shared Nuggets group inside of a post after we finish the broadcast tonight as well. So I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. We had some really nice weather. The weather is getting better and better, which is very inviting to me and lifts my spirit. This is my season. July is my birthday. 1 week away. This is my countdown week. So I started celebrating already in June, as I shared with you when I was on the road and on my trip up in the mountains in Vermont. So I'll share those different things in between separate segments. And those posts are available. My first experience, full horseback riding and zip lining, where we did 8 zip lines and 2 drops and 2 bridges. And so I shared all that. I have an adventurous side, and that side has been coming out. Or I let it out every chance I get. Okay, so let's keep it real. And I love to travel. So near, far, in between. So I'm just trying to stall a little bit, give my regulars a chance to come in on Facebook and Periscope. This is just being recorded for YouTube this time because I'm still waiting for my clearance and permission to go live on in my channel on YouTube. And I'm looking for y'all to come on over there and subscribe as well, because it gives me a lot more freedom to do things, a lot more accessible resources on there, which is the reason why I'm doing it. So just preparing, and this is preparation to grow, for us to expand and open it up and make it available to a wider, diverse population or following. Okay, so that's what we're looking to do, and that's the reason why I've moved to YouTube. All right, so my lighting is looking good tonight. I think everybody can see me. Again, let me know that you're here, and we're going to have some free open dialogue tonight. Okay, we may not go as long as we've been going when we do the readings, because sometimes we go to 9 and 9:30. We went maybe once or twice, almost 9:30. Basically, this broadcast started off as a half an hour, and we said that it would be an hour when we're doing readings, or when I have a live interview guest or someone that comes on that wants to speak or share. That's the guest on it. I can plug you in as well. That's on the Facebook Live group. I can do that. So here we go. I posted a post earlier today, and I wanted to see how many people would comment, how many people would get to see it. But it tied right into what we've been talking about. And I wrote in the comment, do you have a healthy relationship with social media? Are you balanced? Let's talk about it. And I said, join me tonight to talk about it in our Iris's Share Nuggets group. It caught my eye. Of course, we've been talking about relationships from every level, and we touched on this, I'd say maybe back in February. We talked about social media, our relationship with social media, being able to put our devices down during family time, and the control in our lives that social media has taken, and the amount of time it takes up, and how our children, this is their generation. We have a microwave generation. This is a season or a time of microwave, because everybody wants everything fast and want it immediate, want it quick. And so that's the mindset. And social media, or media in general, networking environments through the electronic sources or waves, allow us to get information really quick. And sometimes so quick that it's before it's confirmed, or before it's determined whether it's true or not. Stuff just shoots out into the media sources before it's determined whether it's real information or not. So you see a lot more retracted information these days. And the post that I had put up in the group was Denzel actually talking about this. And he's saying, why is nobody talking about this? We've been talking about it. We've talked about it on here. We talked about having a media box, having a certain cutoff time where you put your social media sources, your cell phones, your laptops, your tablets, shutting down your computers, and taking those items, if they're the smaller ones, putting them in like a box, and having all of the family members put it in there, or a safe room, a room away from your regular home activities, and having that a separate room. And if it's that box, taking that box and put it in the same room, not taking your phones and your tablets into your bedroom with you. For several reasons we talked about it, and I'm kind of backtracking and going back over this, and you absolutely can go back and look at the earlier broadcasts where we touched on this. So this is not a new topic for us, but we're going to expand on that tonight. So the reason for doing that is for several reasons. There's been conversation about and I can attest that it's happened to me, and maybe you can attest that it's happened to you. when you are having conversations, regular conversations in your house, just talking dialogue, whether it be on the phone or with a family member right there, that the topic that you're talking about, when you go to your media source, you will then see advertisements or recommendations for you related to something that you talked about. Sometimes it's even as deep or as heavy as a similar word, and they send you advertisements related to that. And so it's like, how is this happening? So Google is a powerful source. That's one way that we know that realistically, the reality is that we're being heard. Our conversations are being heard and being tapped into, and using it to project and sell us or sell things to us or encourage us to look at advertisements and commercials or sales or events going on related to those topics. So, for example, let's say you mentioned Anita Baker. Anita Baker was on the show, the BET Awards last night, and I'm doing this as a test too, and I'll let you know. Anita Baker was on the award show last night, and she was recognized, and she was given a special award, and they did special tributes to her. And so now what will happen is, if she's going to be in concert somewhere, if she has a live concert come in, I'll see advertisements or information sources related to her being in concert somewhere, or I'll get articles and things popping up, suggested topics in my suggested topics about the BET Awards last night, because these are the things that I'm mentioning right now. So how many of you have experienced this or have noticed it? Because I guarantee you that it's happening. So it just comes down to whether we're in tune and paying attention to what's happening around us, what's being heard, what we're saying, in tune to our own conversations. Because sometimes we talk and we talk about it and then we forget about it. But think about those things that you're talking about, and then if you get those advertisements or solicitations for related subjects, or if you talk about something, and then all of a sudden therapy related to that is popping up in your media, psychologists available within your community, in your surrounding areas, all those kind of things. Therapy sessions. If you talk about concerts, you start getting all kind of concerts. If you talk about toothpaste, sanitary products, deodorant, you'll start seeing those kind of ads. If you say something about clothing, you start seeing more advertisements of events going on. You start talking about summer events, and you start seeing those links of the events coming up around you. So yeah, pay attention. Pay attention. Let me know how often you're noticing that happening. Okay. So as I said, this was on YouTube. This interviewed recording, or this interview recorded talking to Denzel Washington, and he is labeled with the question, "Why is nobody talking about this?" And I posted, "Do you have a healthy relationship with social media? Are you balanced? Let's talk about it." So that's inside of the group. You can go back and you can look at it for yourself if you hadn't had a chance yet. But if you have had a chance, please do post your comments. Tell me what you're thinking, what your thoughts are. And it also said that this will leave you speechless. One of the most eye-opening videos. This will make you reconsider your entire existence. Now that was a little bit extreme. This will make you reconsider your entire existence if you struggle or have a hard time putting down the social media. So the reality is there should be a balance. When I say, are you balanced, that means, can you go without having your phone in your hand, or do you keep your phone with you everywhere you go, everything you do? Take it to the bathroom with you. You have it in the kitchen with you. You can't leave it in one room and go and do other things. That would be an imbalance or unhealthy relationship with social media. Everywhere you go, if you're out, you don't keep your phone in your bag, you keep it in your hand. You're looking at it every minute. If you think about families in the house, you could have 5 family members in the house. Every one of them have a media source either in their hands or they're in front of one. So they're in front of a computer or they have a laptop or phone in their hand. They're in front of the TV or they're playing a video game. No one's talking to the other. Everyone's inside their media source. And then there's cases when you are talking, but nobody's looking at each other. No one is giving eye contact. It's like, yeah, So, oh yeah, my day was good. Oh yeah, yes, I spoke to so and so. Okay, yeah, give me a minute. Let me finish this. Or with some kids, they're ignoring. So I have just this little thing in my hand, so I'm as if it was a phone. That's what they're doing. They're looking down, and no one's looking at no one. So if you have that challenge now, if that's a challenge now, then do you think that's healthy? Are you comfortable with it being that way? Or do you think that that's a little extreme, a little unhealthy? It's for you to really make that determination for you, but this is food for thought. So if you do recognize or think that that's a little imbalance, that's tipping the scale in the sense towards imbalance or an unhealthy relationship with social media, then let's look at other avenues or other means to implement to change that. So we talked about dinner time, having dinner time together and having real direct conversation where you're looking at one another, where you're talking to each other, where you're taking your time eating your food and just enjoying that time with one another rather than being in front of the TV or most of all bringing the cell phone to the table. Why is the cell phone on the table? And in most cases, it's not because you're waiting for a specific call or a special call or to talk to someone. It's because you're texting, you're looking at what's going on Facebook, Instagram. We know all of them. Instagram, chat, the chat, just whatever it is. It's so engrossing, so engaging, and they're even using the words addicted. We're so addicted to it that we can't move away from it. So if that's the case, try not bringing the phone to the table. At night, have a cutoff time for yourself, for your children, if you have young children, or even older children. If you have children in the house, period, whatever the age may be, try shutting it off for a period of time. Or when you come in, right? We talked about people come in a house with it in and don't put it down, right? Try putting it down or not taking it out of your bag when you come home. Just leaving it in your bag. A call you can return. They can leave a message if it's not an emergency. But starting somewhere, doing something different. And that will definitely let you know whether you're addicted or not. If you're not sure, if you have to put yourself to the test, try consciously to not touch your phone. Put it in your bag, put it in another room, or leave it in the room and go in another room and do something else. And if you feel like you're missing something, we've all done that too. Like, where's my phone? Where's my phone? I was having a conversation with a friend about a week or so ago. And, the cell phones now, we do everything on that one device. So even to that extent, we have one device that does multiple things. And that's a great thing, especially if you lose things quickly, right? So here's what's been happening is you use that phone, you're using the Google search, you're looking up stuff, you're putting information in your calendar, you're checking different social media sources, you're looking up your news, you're getting your news reports from through your cell phone, you get alerts, you check the media channels, you got it on Facebook and Instagram, and just everywhere. It's coming at you, right? So now, psychologically, we're accustomed to a phone being something separate. So this conversation that we were having, we were saying that when you're doing some of those other things and you're doing it on the phone, and then when it comes time to making a call, you're then looking for the phone, but the phone is in your hand, but you're using it as a different source. And I myself have done this because this is about transparency. Let's keep it real. I've done it, and I had to check myself because I'm on there. I searched some information and I'm looking for it. I actually had looked up a number for a place that I needed to call. I didn't have the number, so I looked it up. I searched it. I got the number. I wrote it down. And then I was looking at something else on the phone, and then I put it down, and I'm like, where's my phone? I'm looking for my phone to make a call. And I got into this conversation because the person I was talking to was sharing that they were looking for their phone, and that's how we got into that conversation. I was like, oh my God, I did the same thing, and it happened a couple of times. So I'm on the phone, I put it down, because I'm thinking, okay, now I need to make a call. So I'm looking for something different. So you're so entrenched or into what you're doing, or the information that you're looking for, or that you just got, that you forgot that you use the same device, the phone to get that information. So you put it down and then you're looking for your phone. So it's like, wow, that's crazy. But so you pick it up, back it up, and you pick it back up and you laugh about it. And in this case, we were talking about it because I saw her do the same thing. So are you doing things like that? Have you ever experienced that? Let me know. Speak to me. Talk to me. And again, welcome. So I'm always looking forward to your responses. This is dialogue. This is not Iris on her soapbox. This is Iris's shared nuggets. When I say I'm sharing nuggets, I'm sharing experiences. I'm opening up the dialogue for conversation. I'm bringing topics. I post in between different things that I come across that's food for thought or informational or educational or inspirational. So that's what I'm doing. And I do want your feedback. I do want to hear from you. I do want to dialogue with you. I appreciate all of you that's been consistent. While I was saying the other day that I started this broadcast in February, but actually I started it in January. So started it at the top of the year. And here we are in June, getting ready to go into the month of July. So that's huge. That's huge for me. And it's huge for me that a lot of you have been on this journey with me. And when we started, I said, I appreciate you taking this journey with me, and I hope that you'll stick it out with me. And I know that not every topic appeals to everyone, but I still respect and understand and appreciate you when you support, even if you don't get to watch live, that you're going back and viewing it and sharing it with others. So continue to share it, continue to tell others about it, continue to come on board and the live broadcast when you can, and going back and looking at the broadcast recordings when you can as well. And let's grow together. Let's inform each other and inform others and take this information and empower others. So there was a couple of things. As I see people come in, I may repeat a couple of things. So that's what we do here, because we're keeping everybody on the same page. That's how we do it. Transparency. So in touching on a few things in that conversation that Denzel was having when he was being interviewed. Okay, let's do it this way. So I was trying to figure a way that I could pull it in, and I didn't quite figure out how to do that. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Welcome aboard to Iris's Shared Nuggets group. Come on in, join in the dialogue. Yeah, I was looking at a way to pause it. Um, yeah, I was looking for a way to add it in. So there was some statistics. Well, one, Denzel was talking about what I just was saying about social media or the news now, which I say is more like a reality show. They don't even check their facts on the news anymore for certain things. It's like a speed. Who's gonna get it? Who's gonna get the information out first? So let's put it out there before we check whether it's true or not, because we can always retract it. I don't know when we got to this point where it's easier to retract it than to do your homework and make sure information that you're putting out is accurate or even true. First of all, not even to the point of whether the facts that you're adding to it is actual, but whether this is something that really happened or not. You know, you hear about people dying, oh, this body passed, and everybody sending condolences and all this. It happens every day on social media. And then it has to be retracted because you find out the person is living. That's just a simple way of doing it. But this is the news. This is our source where we're supposed to be getting information on what's going on in the world. And they are reporting wrong information or incorrect information. What's up with that? What is that about? So how do you depend on that as a reliable source when they're not checking? Nobody's fact checking. They're just putting whatever out there and doing whatever the random Joe that's doing the same thing as the random Joe on your social media. That's one of your uh, Facebook friends or your IG friends that just hear about something and just put it out there. Like if I just put something out there and then be like, oops, found out that's not true. Sorry. Yeah, but we're talking about doing this with serious stuff, real stuff, life changing information, and just putting it out there without checking it first. So, when did we get to that point? How did we get to that point? Why are we at that point? It's a lot of questions. It's questions, it's questions, it's questions. Are we asking ourselves the questions? Much less seeking out answers to those questions? That's what we're talking about here today. So it's free Wi-Fi. If you go back and you look at the YouTube video, in the beginning of it, they have like these animated pictures, and it shows one door where it says free books. So the door is open under the words free book with a book, and no one is at that door. The other picture next to it, the title, the overhead, it says The World Today. And then it's the two doorways underneath that. One says free books, the other says free Wi-Fi. There's nobody at the door under the free books. Everyone is cramming into the free Wi-Fi door. It's free, accessible information, whether it's real, whether it's true, whether it's checked, whether it's been confirmed. Everybody is running to that source. And that's the social media. That other door that they're showing empty, that free book, that's the research. That's where we do our homework. That's where we fact check. That's where we make sure that if we're putting out information, that we're being accountable and sharing actual researched information, or we fact checked before we put the information out. Nobody's running to that door. Nobody want to take the time anymore to look up and check things out before we put it out there. No one wants to read the book and get the information. We want it the fast way, the quickest way. As I always say, the microwave generation. So everyone is cramming towards that door or that source that we get through social media, or that free Wi-Fi source. Okay. And then talking about social media being addictive. Let me see if I can let you hear some of this.
Biology to these things that are as addictive as alcohol, nicotine, and gambling.
Can you hear that?
Right now, a family is out to dinner at a restaurant, not
It's
enjoying
an
each other's
example.
company, but each staring into the screen of their choice, completely ignoring the family members. And this is mom, dad, and the children all doing the same thing while they continue to eat. They did it the entire meal. Right now,
Right. So the example that the man gave was a family out out at a restaurant for dinner, celebrating something, someone. But every family member sitting around the table had a cell phone in their hand. So they're not even talking to one another. They're engaged on their phone. So they're talking to other people on social media. You know how you have that family member that whip out the phone and record everything. I've done it. Guilty, guilty. Not every time, because I'm conscious of it. I'm aware of it. I'm in tune to having a balance. But whipping out that phone, they're going to record it. They're going to record it. At least that's somewhat engaging the other family members, because you're talking to them. You're saying, say hi, or whatever the case. And if you want to do that, depending on what the event is, okay, to that extent. But I'm talking about when everybody's on a separate device, everybody's looking down at their phone, nobody's looking at each other, no one's having direct conversation. This is the point that we're at today. And then when we think about children, right? People are using devices as babysitters. From small children, a 2-year-old already knows how to work a phone. They know how to slide and go through pictures. They know how to play the video games on the phone. They're putting phones in children's hands earlier and earlier. Almost as soon as they're out the womb, they start being able to hold their head, to turn their head. They're getting a cell phone in their hand. They're starting to get accustomed to it. So they start looking for it. They're craving that like babies used to crave for teething ring or their pacifier. The phone is a pacifier now. Now I may be stretching a little far, but I'm playing devil's advocate. But yeah, I'm comparing a cell phone to a pacifier for a baby, because that's where we are today. You see people pushing their strollers. You see people with the carriers. They're holding the carrier and they're putting the phone in the baby's hand, and the baby is maneuvering it, or it's getting their attention. They're already accustomed to holding that phone. We don't think about the radiation that's in it, so I'm not going to go there. Then I'll be on the soapbox. I'm not going there. I just want us to think about what we see happening around us, what we're doing with these devices and with social media. So that's why we're talking about this, okay? So kids with devices in their hands earlier. 2-year-olds already know how to play video games on the phone. They know how to go through pictures. They know how to take selfies. And this is my grandkids too. You know, they already know. If they're not posing, they're taking them themselves. And they know this stuff. When did we get to this point? How did we get to this point? And is this where we really want to be? Or are we following a trend? Are we caught in a trend? Are we doing just what everybody else is doing? Are we willing to be that 1%? Because this is 99% of people, this is what's happening. We're caught in the trend, in the culture of devices, electronic devices, and social media phenomenon. Because for children, they're just drawn and absorbed by it, absorbed into it. Remember, our children are sponges, and so what they see, they observe quick. They catch it really, really quick. And bam, they're on it, and they can do more with it than you can. They'll erase apps and move stuff on your phone. You'll be like, how did you do that? They just touched it. They're drooling on it. Like I said, it's like a teething ring when they're younger. And this is what's happening around us. This is our today. So they were talking about in Korea how social media has, and the use of electronic devices has been put in the category, of alcohol and drugs. They are calling it an addiction, and they have put it in the same category with an alcoholic addiction, a drug addiction, and they're saying media addiction or electronic device addiction. That we are addicted to it, but that this is not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. Now that's some real food for thought. Marinate on that for a minute. Why wouldn't it be a coincidence? Yes, it's convenient. Yes, it's resourceful, because to, we could say too much of a good thing could be a bad thing. Yes, it's a good thing. The reason for creating it and the reasons why we use it, it's a good thing initially. Okay? When we start off, it's for a good reason. We're using it. It's a resource. We're tapping into it. It's an excellent tool if we're using it as a tool. But are we using it as a tool, or is it using us? Where is the line? Is it a line? Is it such a thin line that it's invisible? The reason why they're comparing it to an alcoholic or drug addiction and putting it in the category as an addiction is because designers. Remember, social media is electronic. So these devices are being created. Just like it's been said that the cell phone has been created or function now to last for shorter and shorter amount of times. So if you have a contract that ends a year or 2 years, that phone pretty much is dying or conking out the closer you get to that period, so that you can be encouraged to get a new phone or to upgrade to the next level phone, right? Because there's always a new one coming out. So they're projecting that based on something. Something is projecting how fast a new phone is coming out. And if you pay attention, they're coming out quicker and quicker and quicker, right? Why is that? We're already hooked. They got us hooked. They have you waiting for the new one to come out, for the new options or abilities that next phone is going to be able to do. But they're designing them in a certain way. Let me put it that way. They're designing these devices in a certain way to make them addictive. Now, I haven't finished doing my homework on this. This is things that I'm looking into and that I'm looking at and that I'm paying attention to. And so I'm challenging you to pay attention to it too, to be in tune and to have these dialogues and have these conversations about it, and to challenge yourself to look at it and to pay attention to what's happening around you. Because if they're being designed for us to be addicted to them, and we're getting caught up in a trend, or the tools, what's supposed to be used as tools, are now using us to buy into more devices, to go through various types of devices, or be at the whim of waiting for the next device. It's marketing. It's channeling. Because if they're designing them in that way to keep putting new information on, let me give you this example. So you go on social media, you're looking through your timeline, and you're looking at what's going on, and you say, oh, okay, I'm going to get off now. I've been on here long enough. So you're being conscious of it. But something pops up that grabs your attention, whether it be a video or an advertisement or somebody saying something. Because now when you scroll, those videos, the sound of what's happening come on immediately. So it's grabbing your attention and it's keeping you on longer. Is that a coincidence? Is that by happenstance? By chance? What do you think? So like I said, this is food for thought. I posted that video on there. Go and look at it. It's going to make you, it will make you think. It's going to make you question and think about what your habits have been, how you've been using it, how you function with or without it. And that's going to help you to determine whether you're balanced or imbalanced, whether you're addicted or whether you're in control or whether it's in control of you. Because if you're addicted to it, it's in control of you. And so these are the questions that I'm challenging you tonight to ask yourself, to tap into what's being said, the dialogue around this, to look at how these devices are being programmed, to look at the marketing techniques and the instrumental structure of design by these creators of these devices. I'm challenging you to look at all of that so that when you do get on it, how you choose to use it, then you're making the decision that you are valuing your option to choose to do things when you want to do it, how you want to do it, rather than it being pushed into your face, pulling your attention, distracting you, and drawing you in, whether you're being controlled by it or whether you're controlling it. It's a thin line. It's a thin line between balance and imbalance. All right, so like I said, I wasn't going to keep this broadcast that long tonight. I just wanted to put some food for thought. I just wanted to have a night again of us just dialoguing, talking back and forth. A lot of you are not speaking up if you're here, and I don't see my regulars. But in any case, it's always great. I appreciate all of you that will go back and view these sources, and do leave your comments. Leave your comments. Iris's Shared Nuggets Monday Night Group, live on Facebook inside of the Facebook group. You can find me by looking up Iris Wells for my other sources. I'm live on Periscope, Queen Irie 1, as well as the YouTube channel, Queen Irie 1. And you can find me on there. So come on in, continue to follow weekly, every Monday. That's where the end was coming in. I wasn't saying monthly. Mondays, weekly, inside of these groups, on these sources. So we're live. YouTube, Periscope, and Facebook Live. And next week, we are going to our book, Five Love Languages. Okay? The Secrets to Love That Lasts by Gary Chapman. So until then, I hope that you continue to have a productive and fulfilling week. Have a great Tuesday tomorrow, and have a great rest of your week. I'm going to be coming in to the group on these sources, looking for your comments. I want to see your comments on this. Let me know when you view the video. Listen to what Denzel is saying. Listen to what these other people on this video is saying. It is indeed an eye-opener. Ditto. I second that. It is an eye-opener. And if you've been following along with me, this is something that we've talked about, that we've been talking about and talking around it in several ways. So let's continue this dialogue. Let me hear what you have to say. And I look forward to responding. I look forward to having this conversation on there. So until then, I just say peace. Until next time. one.